Mike, if you.
With that powerful introduction, we got to do something, right? We got to do some fucking thing. Oh my goodness. How is everybody after the 4th? Oh, you don't have the 4th where you live, do you?
What, like, okay. Why would Simons celebrate? Well, then again, like, good riddance. Maybe that's what he would celebrate, but.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, July the 4th, the day we got rid of America. Oh, fantastic!
Well, actually, we're going to be celebrating November 4th. That's the day we got rid of America in this country. So November 4th, 2024. Yeah, it's going to be the new 4th, the 4th of November. But yeah, I have. You probably don't have like have all these memories. When I was a little boy, my dad would always give us $5 each in like 1957, right? And we'd go to Mountain Iron to the parade, and and we'd have to dig in this big sand pile, and we could find another $5 if you dug around long enough. And man, that was a lot of money. That was a lot of ice cream cones.
Yeah. Sorry, did you say 1857? Did you say?
1776, right?
1776. That was a lot of money back then. You could have bought two.
That was my first 4th of July, 1776. So
yeah, it was nice. It was a good day. It was a good day.
I see where you. Yeah, I didn't readily see where you were going there, Simos.
That's okay. I'm here. I'm here for you.
Now that I know, I think I see. I have the power to kick you out of the studio tonight.
Yeah. If you can remember. Yeah.
Okay.
You can figure out how it works.
This is how it's going to be tonight. Okay.
Oh dear. I don't know how it's going to be.
I don't know how it's going to be.
I'm old enough to forget as well. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, what show is this?
Saturday Night at the Atheist.
Saturday Night at the Atheist. Yes.
And we've got some things here. Let's see. One of them is, let me see. So Rabid Atheist and Simon Dan both did a thing on a video that Matt Powell put out. And I think the video was called How to Lead an Atheist to Jesus. And then Matt Powell took the video down, and he said some of the stupidest shit in here. And I talked about it on your stream, Silas. On Thursday.
Right. Yes, you did.
I did.
Yeah.
Did you ever think there's so much to know about the olfactory system and morality, and we never seem to quite get there.
Yeah,
I know.
We will one day. But
anyway, everybody should go watch the Onion series on Simos's channel, and we should link that in the chat.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. We're getting some good views on it. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for your participation. We're getting some good views on that.
Yeah, I'm hoping you do that scientific reduction thing. The idea of reduction, and give me a heads up, and I think I can introduce it. So
fantastic. Okay, we'll be getting to that topic. Next week is the last week of season 3. And, so everybody be there. And I don't know what the topic is yet, of course.
Okay.
But I think I'll speak to Brian, and I think he may like that topic, so maybe we could do that.
Yeah, you asked me to give an intro on Thursday, and you did not give me a heads up. So I'm like, like I wasn't even sure if I understand what the hell your title meant. It was kind of an odd statement, and I'm like, what is my comment on it? It's like, okay, Simos needs to be put into a home. That was when I first read it. It's like, oh no, we got to put him in a home.
I think it's getting closer and closer to that time. I feel. But like, I mean, that quote that I put up is normally the giveaway, and that quote was by a poet, right? It was a poetical quote. So,
yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. So on Monday, Dr. Dan is going to stop over to the channel, and we're going to go over Bread of Life and Cell Cordova and their latest evolution debunking video, or evidence for evolution video.
Yeah, I like that.
So that's Dr. Dan from Creation Myths. And then in August, at the beginning of August, I'm going to be on Dr. Dan's channel, and I'm going to do I'm hoping a complete, what would you call, presentation on chromosome 2 fusion and the whole we're not like chimps, sort of thing. So, and I've been working on it for about a month, and I'm going to work on it for another month. And I have actually discovered some things in the genome that I don't think anybody else knows about. So I kind of want to do that.
Intriguing. That is intriguing.
Yeah.
Also,
intriguing.
Always on this channel on Answers in Atheism, you get the high caliber people, right? We've got Bread of Life and whatever his name is,
Cordova.
Yeah. So I mean, those are two of the theist community heavyweight hitters on evolution. So that's going to be a challenge for you, Mike.
Oh yeah, it's a real challenge. Cell is such a challenge.
That's on Monday, is it?
Monday, yes. I can listen to Cell for about 30 seconds, one of his videos, and I'm like flying around the room and Googling shit, and he drives me crazy. He really does.
Yeah, he exudes intellectual compromise.
He's arrogant.
In the saddest way.
Yeah.
And
so,
if you wanted to send me an invite, you could email me. But if you did, you'd have to include Gödel's incompleteness theory in the email.
Oh yes.
Yeah, just to point that out. Okay, moving on.
Yeah. Okay. There are a couple videos that we were talking about. I was talking about with Dan that I'm looking for about Cell. If anybody knows where they are, one of them is when he was talking to, I think, Steve McRae or something, or somebody else, and all of a sudden he got up and he started looking at the ceiling and looking real paranoid and strange and running around and grabbing step ladders, and he was like, it was, if you played the Benny Hill music to what he was doing. And then when he got back, he sat down and he had this like huffy look on his face, and I think McRae asked him, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Oh no, there was a mouse in the ceiling," and it looked like he had gone batshit crazy right midstream, right? Yeah, and it was just fucking amazing. And I think I played it on my channel with the Benny Hill music, but I'm not a great movie editor, so it didn't come off as comedic as it could have. But it was just awesome. And then the other one that kind of shows who Cell Cordova is. He was doing his nice Cell stuff, right? I'm just a nice old guy talking about stuff and talking to the young ladies. And then the doorbell rang, and it kept ringing. And he said, I got to deal with this. And he got up, and he looked like somebody, like he had his fist clenched, I think, and he at least it seemed like that. And it looked like he had a stick up his ass, and he marched to the door, and he opens the door, real abruptly, looks at somebody, and then slams the door in his face, and then waddles back and then turns into the nice Cell again. But for like 30 seconds, you could see his true nature. And it was interesting. He didn't even say anything to this poor fucking salesman that rang his doorbell, right? It was a solicitor, right? And when a solicitor comes to my door and I open the door, I mean, I don't just slam the door in his face. I'll say, "Oh no, I'm not interested," and try to be polite to him. But
I will usually try to wait till they come to a place and stop talking and then say I'm not interested. But if I feel like a salesperson or whatever's not gonna finish talking,
oh yeah,
I'll go. Excuse me, I'm not interested. Have a good day. And then I close the door, so it's abrupt. But I try to go through the motions of saying, thank you, excuse me, I'm not interested.
I tried to do that. I used to try to do that, but I'm too fucking nice. I just gotta start off like being an asshole. Otherwise, I'm gonna be too nice, and I'm gonna be stuck talking to someone way longer than I want to. Same with on the phone. Like I gotta say, yeah, I'm not interested, and hang up. Don't wait for a reply. Hang up.
I usually just open the letterbox and say, if you don't want to talk about Jesus, fuck off, and then I close the letterbox.
Yeah. This police organization keeps calling me for donations to support the police, right? And after George Floyd, you can imagine how I feel about the fucking police, right? And
George Floyd, and like, what about what the fuck's going on in your country right now?
Right. So anyway, last week I hung up on one of them without saying anything, and I felt bad about it for 4 hours.
Wow.
And
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's just like, but they just launch into their shit, and I'm like, okay, I'm really busy right now. Stop, I just no, I'm not going to give the police any fucking money for more. And I'm not going to encourage the motherfuckers any more than they've already been encouraged. So, anyway,
you could always just turn around to them, say, "Oh, support the police." Yeah, sure. Get glasses. That would be my supporting the police. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah. Okay, so what do we got here? Creationist tie. Okay, I just want to play this one part. Now, I think this drives me really crazy, and I'm hoping to explain why, because some people didn't seem to get it or didn't really comment, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Okay, share. Oh yeah, so I got to turn that on.
He's such a fucking dweeb.
Oh my god!
I don't know. Like he is so fake.
I feel sorry.
Everything about him is fake, and like
I feel sorry for him though, because it must be difficult to be that person.
Tucker Carlson. He reminds me of Tucker Carlson, and then Tucker Carlson is actually pretty smart, but he has this whole facial expression thing that makes him look really dumb. Yeah. But anyway,
he's monetized that. That is his selling point, is that look of confusion that he can get on his face at will.
And I think Matt Paul is a grifter too. It turns out he's originally he's trained in computer science, mathematics, and philosophy at the University of Western Australia. And he was working in data science and mobile security. So the guy, I mean, do they have the right guy here? He just doesn't seem like he.
No, I don't. But then think they do.
I don't know. I met some people with computer science degrees though that were dumb as a box of rocks. So.
Yeah. Well, let's face it. The first year is mainly working out how to turn the thing on. So.
Right. You could teach a monkey how to program in Java, or something.
Anyway, I mean, I don't think
you could teach a computer how to do it.
And we have.
He's just not that smart enough, I'm afraid. I think he is like dumb as a box of rocks, but I think in a nice way. He's one of these people. Oh, bless. He's not all there, but what is there is sweet enough. It wouldn't hurt her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. Let me play this first because it might explain what's going to come next. So let me stop screen. Let me share a different screen here.
Well, and it's happening on Dave's channel, but
we got to say this. Yeah, left-handed Jedi.
Left-handed Jedi just gifted 10 memberships for Dave's channel. So
they've gone to Tubian, Jasper, Katie Dodson. Welcome, Katie. Left-handed Jedi himself. Well, that was lucky. Robin Webster. Hello, Robin. Good to see you. Mayor Atkinson. Thank you, Mayor. Michael N, Anarchy Fox, Deviant Outcast, and Master Blaster.
Wow. Yeah, we do.
All those guys. Let's see some big emojis in chat from everybody for that.
Yeah, they can't do it on my channel. So
no.
Anyway, I have 2 watching on my channel, and we have 17 on Dave's. So that just shows you I don't get no respect. You know. Anyway,
shows you that.
Like the video that I shared today was your video because, like, hey, you're hosting. Dave's not even fucking here.
Oh yeah, no,
and he's getting members.
I tried to do that. I forgot about that. Thank you, Scott. Let's just do it.
Oh, no.
There we go. Left the Jedi. You rock. You rock.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Something horrible just happened. I have to go for 1 minute. So you guys handle it.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, 1 minute. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, everybody with me. 5. You know, I can get my grandsons to count to 60 with me.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
You know what? It's a shame Matt Powell isn't here, otherwise he could learn something.
By the way, does anybody really know what time it is?
It's time for
I don't know.
What time is it?
Nobody knows what I'm referencing. Remember the song by Chicago? Does anybody really know what time it is? Does anybody really care about time? I don't know. That's just an old Chicago song that apparently I'm the only one in this panel that remembers them.
I was never a huge Chicago fan.
Yeah, this is Chicago from the 60s and 70s, so it's a while back. But it's iconic.
Chicago never really blew me away.
I love the brand.
So you never went there?
I've been to Chicago, yes.
Oh,
I've been to Chicago.
Just not on a windy day?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we didn't stop there, so we just passed through.
You just have to prepare for a windy day when you're in Chicago.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, there you go. So they're all at the ARC protest right now. We're hoping that we're going to get a feed from young David.
Do you think ICE is hassling him?
A little later. I think somebody's hassled him. I don't know who. So hopefully that's there. If you are watching young David, then maybe if you could send us some Discord notices to read out if you need anything read out, that would be good. I'll be keeping an eye out for that.
Yeah, I really want to see some of the videos that people are taking of the protest.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Although
we've got a good representative for the ARC opponent in this young Matt Powell here, Matthew Powell.
Good and representative are not two words I would string together for him, but okay.
Okay. I mean, I could use other words, but I'm trying to keep it PG because you know what Dave's like.
He looks like he's going full.
Hey, Dave's not here. Dave's not here. We can say any fucking thing we want.
Oh man, it's me,
that's
Dave.
Fucking amazing.
No, it's me, man. Dave, let me in. Let me in, man. It's Dave.
Anyway, yeah, my headphones went bonkers on me, and these super fucking expensive Apple headphones, they block out sound, and you can't hear anything. It's the most uncomfortable feeling. And when you're talking, your voice echoes inside of you. And it's like, so every now and then it automatically switches to that non-transparency mode. And I got to go to settings, and it takes about 15 minutes of clicking to figure out which damn button to click to figure it out. Anyway, that was a horrible thing that happened. That was horrible. So I'm going to play this guy. Okay. That's one. So it says one part. Just listen to this one part. Tell me if you can hear it.
And they go into homeschool groups. I was homeschooled all my life. and that's how I got involved in it.
That explains the problem. That explains the problem.
Yeah, and you're telling me he's been to Western Australia computing school, homeschooled all his life. Not a chance to get in.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know. I should double check ChatGPT on his education, because if I remember correctly, he started when he was like 19. He got up and started preaching at a church, and he started calling for the death of everybody that he thought didn't have sex the way you should, and he got famous because of that. Because he was calling for killing, stoning, basically gay people. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, there is one particular state in Australia which is very right-wing Christian, shall we say.
Okay.
I can't remember which one it is, though. That's the problem. Let me just have a look. I wish there was...
Look who has joined us.
Hello.
Is it?
Oh, hello.
Here he is.
Dave again.
Can you hear me okay?
David.
We can. Yeah, we've taken over this thing, and we've taken it to places that you would never go. So
I figured.
We're doing that.
Yeah, I just got here. I had a little problem. I went to leave, and my car wouldn't start. So.
No shit.
I had to buy a battery before I could leave today. So.
Wow, good thing you caught it at home.
Yeah.
It did you a favor by not dying on the road, because they do that. If your battery really goes to hell, you can. I think I don't think you're. There's something where it will shut off. I've had it happen. So anyway, so you're there. So have you met anybody yet, or seen anybody?
No, I just walked in the door and I threw up the laptop because I saw what time it was. And
you should go get them all and bring them to your room and have them all on.
I think I saw Dade leave in his car when I was coming in. So, but yeah, I haven't even ventured around or anything. I just literally sat down.
Okay, so Matt Paul here is talking about the Big Bang and how it's like scientific. It's not scientific. Scientifically, it's been proven to be impossible. That couldn't have happened. It just couldn't be this way. And he had this to say about why, part of his reasoning. So I'm going to play this little short clip here.
6 million trillion gallons of water exist on Earth alone. And to say that all of that was condensed as energy, they claim, in an infinitely dense hot point, is ludicrous and absurd, and it is demonstratively false. And once an atheist begins to understand that God...
There's more.
I know, but just the absurd stupidity of what he just said, that all this water was compressed. The thing is, electrons, protons, and neutrons had not even developed yet. At the Big Bang, they had to reach a cooling state before they could drop out of the energy condensation that was going on.
Just wait, Scott.
And also, how easy is it to compress water? I believe near impossible.
Yeah, near impossible. But anyway, just listen to this next part. I think I got the right part right here now.
Is their creator, that God made them, and that God loves them because he gave them the gift of life, the gift of human existence. It's very important to explain 6 million trillion gallons of water exist. So even if the Big Bang is true, atheism is still false. And the reason we know the Big Bang could not have taken place is because you cannot convert dust to water. Think about it. You would have had H2O convert from dust particles. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
I actually seen this Simon Down video. Yeah.
Blows my mind that somebody could even put those two things together and form a sentence.
Now, Mike, remind us why we're having to watch Simon Dan instead of the actual Matt Powell video.
because Matt Paul made it private. He took it down because he probably somebody called him and said, "You said the stupidest thing anybody could have ever said out loud," and you got to take that video down and edit that. But anyway, Simon Dan and the Rabid Atheist both did coverage on this video, right? And I don't think they mentioned this as much as they should have, because it's just, that was mind-numbingly dumb. I mean, okay, yeah, like you said, Scott. Okay, there weren't even fucking protons, and I mean, oh my God, at the Big Bang, everything was like very, very different and compressed, and things had to cool off to a certain point before you could even have atoms. And then what you had is hydrogen and helium, and then we had to go through the whole star formation thing before you got to the oxygen part, and then and only then you get water. But he seems to think that a bunch of dust was compressed and somehow the water had to flow out of the dust. Trillions of gallons of water had to flow out of the dust.
Yeah.
I love it because, like, he just to think about it. Well, this is what he thinks that atheists think, right? So
yeah.
But he gets that from the Bible, right, where God was floating over the waters, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. That's why he thinks there was water first, because that's what was there when God was there, right?
Yeah, water was so basic. It had to be there.
It's like, okay, look, obviously, and this is why I would completely doubt that he was ever a computer scientist, other than somebody who learned how to switch it on and off, maybe. But
I can't imagine him.
Well, I guess in his circles that makes you like a computer scientist, right?
No, well, it's because I've just had a quick look, and it's a creationist website, and I'm calling bullshit on the fact he ever qualified. He may have sent a letter saying, "Can I come and do this at your place?" And they probably sent it back, going, "You're the guy that said something stupid in the press, right?"
Okay.
No, you can't come here and do that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so a Facebook profile and the Creation Ministries International are the source of his claim to have a degree in computer science. Or wait a minute, he said, okay, it didn't say he had a degree. It said he studied computer science.
Exactly. Yeah, he sent a letter saying, "Can I come and study at your
No.
Went, well, what
he watched a couple of YouTube videos.
Well, I was homeschooled, and my mum told me about computers once. He
watched a few YouTube videos. That's all. Like he studied that just like a flat earther studies.
He doesn't study. Clearly, he doesn't study. I mean, I've just got to say that, because anybody can just type into Wiki Big Bang and get more information and contradictory information to the stuff he's just given. So clearly, he doesn't study.
For that, first go to Wikipedia. Don't just put that into Google. Unless you got safe search.
I'm sure,
Otherwise, you don't want to be looking for the Big Bang.
Yeah. But I am sure that when he was studying in his home, his mum thought he was an excellent student and a good boy. I don't want to put that down. I mean, you know what I mean?
No, yeah.
He looks like a good boy to me. That's what I've always thought. Well, there's a good boy. He does what his mum says.
Yeah, I think he is just as fooled as the people that he is fooling.
Yeah.
I don't think he's fooling many people, to be fair. I just think he looks like a good boy, so all the mothers go, he looks like a nice boy, doesn't he?
He doesn't seem like... I think he's delusional, but yeah.
This explains so much about the Spatchcock boys. They were homeschooled.
Jay. Oh, don't say that, Jay. Oh, no. Mind you guys have really mastered it. I've been listening to both of you talk about stuff now, as opposed to when you were talking about it when I first met you, Jay. And you and Jeff have really kind of mastered some of the arguments. Say that, or at least the counter arguments, as well as the arguments themselves, of course. But I was going to say, just go back to Matt Powell briefly, if I may. I think he's like, like a mother's like wet dream, a mother that's had their kids grow up and move away. You know what I mean? That's that kind of mother. I think any woman would look at this guy and go, "Oh, isn't he lovely, though?"
Yeah. Okay, we got just a couple 1 minute clips here, and I can't remember, but I'm trying to get to a certain spot, so let's get there. This is about pebbles and rocks and boulders. This is wow.
Energy can only be converted. It cannot be created or destroyed. That's the first law of thermodynamics. So to say that you could take a rock that's tiny and let it morph into a rock that's gigantic like a boulder, that's not possible. But in the Big Bang Theory...
What?
Okay. Did you hear what he said?
Yeah, I did.
Can you fucking believe this?
You know, I should have worn my oven mitts because I'm face palming like hell right now. And it's starting to hurt.
Yeah, be dangerous. Yeah, be careful, everybody.
How can that little pebble? How can that little pebble evolve into a boulder? You know, and that's what the Big Bang is saying, is that little pebble evolved into a boulder.
Well, that little pebble wanted to be a boulder.
Wanted to be a boulder.
Yeah.
It can be a boulder. It's like,
oh
my God.
It was dreaming.
It just,
and it imagined just being heavier. You know what I mean? So it evolved to be heavier. And and that's a wonderful thing for little rocks and pebbles.
Oh, you know what's cool though? He is not doing all that well. He only has 16.8K subscribers, 1.2K views on this. But tonight we're going to get 200 views on basically showing him for what he is. Right, we're going to get 200 views, and he
How
has.
many views has this video got?
Well, I'm not sure about the first one we did, but
1.2K. There you go.
Yeah, that ain't a lot, but it's a hell of a lot more than we're going to get. So
well,
who the hell's
but we don't have 15,000 subs, right?
Yeah, who's listening to this shit? I mean, just wow. I just don't know. I don't know.
Well, I think there's a lot of sympathy subbing in the theist community. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they do like to support each other, which is fair. I mean, that's part of the game, isn't it? That's why they're such great grifters, I feel. You know, because they're easy marks, as they would say.
Does anybody know? Go ahead.
Well, it's not like being in the atheist community. Oh my God, it's like drawing blood from a stone. Unless you're in Dave's community, because Dave's community supports him like hell. I've got to say, I'm so impressed with Dave's community.
Yeah, they do.
And anybody who want to sub to my channel from Dave's community, Dave is a fantastic guy.
Yes, definitely sub to Simon's channel and sub to this channel, my channel, Answers in Atheism, because we're we need it. We need that help, don't we, Simon?
Yes, we do. Jay's asking to get a link, I feel.
Jay is? Oh, okay.
Jay, can I pass the link on to Jay? Would that be okay for you?
Yeah, if you know how, go ahead and do that. Well, wait. Yeah, okay, pass it on.
I love Jay's my man. I love Jay.
Yeah, anyway. So I don't know if we should, well, there's something else here. There's a, let's see, I can stop that one because there's nothing else here I want to listen to. I can only listen to this Big Bang shit so many times and my head explodes.
Which, incidentally,
does anybody?
It's very similar to what Matt Powell thinks happened to God in the Big Bang.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yep. So there's another one here. Has anybody heard of the Good Liars at the Southern Baptist Convention?
Yeah.
Does anybody listen to this? This is the Good Liars. He goes around and he interviews people at this convention and asks them about gay marriage, and it's really kind of an interesting video, and I'll put a link to it out in the chat, and so everybody should give it a listen. It's kind of interesting, but they're voting on I think they're voting on what they're going to do about gay marriage. How they're going to get behind Congress to make it illegal now that we have a crazy ass dictator for a president. And I don't know.
Butler.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Daughter for president.
The word of God.
I'm pretty sure my 13-year-old kid could do a better job being president of the United States.
I know. Yes.
They're playing. Incidentally,
at least he's got a heart.
Incidentally, they're playing the song that won the Second World War.
Yeah, because they're going to win this one.
So we are here in the main convention hall in Dallas at the Southern Baptist Convention, where they will be voting on a number of things here today. One, pornography. I'm going to say it's bad. Gambling. They're going to say that's bad. Gay marriage. They're going to say that should be illegal now. So we're going to talk to some people here, find out more about what to expect here at the Southern Baptist Convention, the largest gathering of Protestants in the United States of America. Would you like to see gay marriage illegal in the United States of America?
Yes.
Yeah. And so do you support the proposal that is going to be voted on here today to take similar steps that happened with Roe v. Wade to get rid of gay marriage in the United States of America?
I do support it.
And how would that change society if gay marriage was illegal?
I don't know if it's going to change society at all if it's illegal. I mean, there are a lot of things that are illegal in this country that people still take part in.
Okay.
So I don't know that it's going to change society very much. I don't think that legislating something is going to make changes and like that. It's a heart change in people, and that's what we as Southern Baptists need to be.
I want to hear him say, how do you think it's going to change society? I think there'll be a lot less ass fucking. But I don't think it's going to change. Those guys, they love each other.
Yeah.
And love conquers all, right?
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, what did I hear him mention Roe v. Wade? What does Roe v. Wade have to do with gay marriage? Or
they managed to fuck that up, right? So now they're talking about the same Supreme Court doing the same thing for gay marriage. So that's the hope.
Well, they did. Oh, yeah. There was something that did. There was a case that got left open that could possibly where it would argue. Oh, it was based on that interracial couple that got married, where it would open up being able to basically. But that, because it had something to do with the case that was taken to the Supreme Court where they appealed Roe v. Wade. But then there was something about that legal precedent that they used that could be used to not only do away with gay marriage, but also interracial marriage.
Yeah. Which, my God, we definitely have to get back to that.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like if they had to do that now, how the hell would they do that? Because we have a whole lot of mixing going on, and they'd have to basically do DNA tests. And I'm guessing that the people with 2% Neanderthal, you could make a case that they shouldn't marry people without 2% Neanderthal, because that's definitely interracial.
Interesting. Well, interspecial.
Yeah. So in order to date a girl in junior high, you'd have to get a DNA test.
I think you need to make sure that MAGA is a separate. Seen as a separate
race,
because come on, if they keep it all in then it will die out.
It's a separate species.
Well, it is. Come on.
I think it is a separate species.
Yeah, to be fair, if 2.5% is the average human's amount of Neanderthal DNA, I think Trump is probably up at 5%.
Yeah.
No.
I think that's an insult to Neanderthals.
I think the Neanderthals are smarter than that.
Which is very, it's very appealing, I guess, to some people.
The Neanderthals probably died out because they were smarter and they were more peaceful. So we killed them.
No. It's because they came together and they ended up fucking each other. And it ended up being one race.
Yeah, there were fewer of them. So
what's really interesting is that you see these guys, they'll talk about this kind of stuff while ignoring the fact that it's kind of interesting. Well, it just because it reminds you of some of the conversations that gotten into in the past, like with chaos theory, that basically if you allow, it was that old, I guess for lack of a better term, canard, that if you legalize gay marriage, then you'll be able to then it just logically follows she'll be able to fuck animals legally.
Yeah, right.
So
yeah,
Barnard Follies will be back on the table, boys, kind of thing.
Slippery slope. Yeah.
And it's like, you do realize that most states don't actually have any legislation banning bestiality.
Yeah.
It's really kind of funny.
So something interesting happened to me, and let me explain it and see if you can see what the hell is going on here. But about I think it was about a year ago or something, my sister called me and said that my great niece had told her mother, verified that they have a litter box in school and they have kids identifying as cats and dogs.
That joke. That
okay.
is so amazing that they fell for that.
Okay, and here's the thing. So she was 12 years old, and this happened. She was claiming that in the Gilbert School District in Gilbert, Minnesota, northern Minnesota, they had these litter boxes in the classroom. And I listened to it, and I had heard some little bit about it, and I went and looked online, and of course, that first came out somewhere in Texas that somebody had said that there were litter boxes in the classroom,
and it became a meme in Texas.
Oh yeah, right. But I mean, like, and my question to my sister was, who the hell cleans these litter boxes?
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine poop scooping a kid? I mean, Jesus
no, but like
Christ.
they do have the litter box material there in the schools, but it's not for. It's not for. You know what it's for?
Even if you had litter boxes, right, in schools for furries or whatever, why would you put them in the classroom?
I know.
That's just dumb as fuck.
Yeah,
right?
But you know what? Why they have that?
Spills.
In case of a shooting, to soak up blood. If there's blood on the floor, they can use it to soak it up.
Yeah, it's really good to throw on the floor.
That's why they have material like that in a classroom.
Yeah, when I'm working on a car, I use cat litter as floor dry. So you're right there. It does soak stuff up.
Yeah,
but anyway,
or like if you're stuck in the classroom and somebody has to go, like, to clean up messes, like and all related to school fucking shootings.
Yeah. Yeah. So
you realize you're the only country that have to take in account school shootings. No other country has to think about that shit.
Oh God!
Yeah. Well, no. Russia doesn't care.
I don't know how well
in Russia, but they don't give a shit.
I don't know how well kitty litter would work for blood, but I know it works pretty good for oil.
It works good for oil, yeah.
Well, if it works well for oil, it probably works pretty well for blood.
But now, here's the interesting point. Okay, this 12-year-old girl, right, is talking to her parents, and somehow that subject comes up, and she verifies that there are litter boxes in Gilbert, Minnesota, and to the best of I talked to people in Gilbert, Minnesota, and to the best of my knowledge, nobody knows anything about these litter boxes. So she kind of made it up, right? And I can't even talk to her about it because she doesn't remember the conversation. But you can see how these little fucking memes start up in a place in Texas, and they spread all over the whole country, and all of a sudden everybody's reporting furries in the classroom.
Oh, and when kids get a hold, when kids get a hold of that stuff, they do all sorts. You do all sorts of weird stuff with a nice developing.
No, it's not. It's not the kids that ran with it.
Oh, I know.
It's Karen moms that ran with it.
Yeah, but it makes it worse for kids because kids start to associate certain things based on the influence that they get from their parents. They start to see certain things, and then they fill in the blanks and go, "Oh, that must have been kitty litter." And it's like, no.
Yeah. Well,
it wouldn't surprise me if some of the older kids, right, heard the meme going around, and then got some cat litter boxes and put them in classrooms just to.
Yeah, I don't know. They
laugh,
should.
Who's going to take this bait?
I'm sorry, but if I was a furry using kitty litter boxes, I would insist on a robot litter. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, definitely
the robot litter. But I don't know. I don't even know the lengths that a human being would have to go to successfully take a dump in a robot litter in a litter robot.
Or those ones that you have to crawl inside. The ones that have a little ceiling on them.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of how you could get yourself positioned in such a way to properly get it into the hole. Yeah, it might as well just use the fucking bowl full of water.
Well, it's still absolutely ridiculous because, of course, they've been potty trained before they were furries. So why would they? I mean, it's like if an animal was potty trained, it would use the toilet. It doesn't make any sense.
Like those videos of those cats that piss in the toilet. Those are
exactly.
amazing cats.
Exactly. No, it's ridiculous.
Anyway, I don't know what the world is coming to. I'm not sure.
But I thought, are we gonna? I thought you guys were gonna watch. Well, I came in here to advocate for the homeschooler.
Really?
But
why?
Well, do you remember? Do you remember, Mike?
Okay.
Do you remember, Mike, in the day, back in the day in schools, if you had long hair, that was what people used to talk about.
Yes.
Seen the length of his hair. My word, and he's a boy.
I got thrown out of school and suspended in school, I think 4 or 5 times because my hair was a half an inch over my ears, and I was considered a long hair. And then it was really Yeah. The only time I ever got in trouble is when I would grow my hair, when I would refuse to get a haircut, and the principal would call me in. And then I went and saw that principal back when I was 24 years old, and I had extremely long hair then. And I went and saw this. I went in to talk to him and get my school records. He had on paisley, bright psychedelic pants. He had long hair, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened here? You're the guy that was throwing me out of school, and all of a sudden he's got paisley pants on, and I'm like, whoa.
I don't know what kids. So some of the kids I see today, they got hair.
You seem like every generation has furries. Is that just
yeah, that's true.
I see some of these kids with the hair that they have now, and it's so full. I just want to use them. I'm like that, and it's so unclean. Normally, it's like I could
hate that.
Just use them as a mop. You could use them to clean the blood off of a school floor.
School floor. Right? I just hate the fact that they have so much hair and I don't.
Well, I do too. I shave my head.
And my mum said to me, I said to my mum when I think it was about 12. I said to her, she said, "Oh, it's time to go to the hairdressers, the barbers, as we used to call it back then." And I said, "Oh, I don't want to go. I don't want to go to the barber." She goes, "Well, what do you want? Long hair or something?" And I went, "Oh, yeah, I do actually, yeah." And she said, "Oh, all right. Well, look, we'll talk to your father and see what he says." And my dad went, "Yeah, all right. If he wants long hair, he can have long hair." So I started growing my hair when I was like 12. Got a lot of shit from school for that, right? But my mum used to defend me. When I got to about 16 and I moved into the next schooling up, okay, I used to walk down the road. And I swear, guys in cars used to stop and wolf whistle.
Oh yeah.
I turn around and they go, "Oh, okay, no, I was going for little girls, not little boys."
I was living in Texas when I was 15 with my brother one summer, and I had to go to school, right? And to go to school, I had to get a haircut. So I went to a Texas barber, and he was just excited. He said, "Oh my God, I wanted to get one of you long hairs in my care forever." It's like, I'm so excited. He was so excited to cut my hair. And then I had a deputy do it back so that the deans in Texas wouldn't okay, I forgot my belt one day and I was walking down the hallway and all of a sudden this fucking hand comes out of this door and pulls me into this room and slams me up against the wall. "Where's your belt, kid?" And I'm like, it was like he was like a 6'4", 240-pound fucking dean, right? I'm like a 90-pound when soaking wet kid.
I want to know what those guys were seeing, looking at Simus's backside as he's walking.
Oh no, I had a great backside when I was young.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! Used to drive both sixes. Absolutely wild.
Alzheimer's had to do when he was younger to be a trap. It's just grow his hair out.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. That's it. And And I used to walk around without my top on quite a lot, right? Because I grew up in Canada, right? And in Canada, nobody wears a t-shirt. They didn't back then, anyway. So I'd walk around without the top on, and like literally, you'd hear.
Yeah,
there's a girl with their top off, quick!
Jay, you hit upon something really important here, and that is one of the reasons why they hated the long hair thing so much is because that's pretty long. It's because their little weenies got confused when they saw a boy with long hair, right?
Yeah,
and that's what's happening today with LGBTQ. Their weenies are getting confused, and it freaks them out, and they get mad. And so, I mean, there is something to that. So they'd look, and the first thing they'd think is, "Oh, young girl," and then, "Oh shit, young boy," or the opposite, or whatever. Yeah.
No, I got. I had a feeling in my groin after looking at that.
Yeah. Well, the weenies get confused, and they get really angry. I mean, you can understand that, right?
Weenie get hard, and then they realize, oh, that person also has a weenie. And then they get scared.
Then it gets really shriveled up, and it turtles on them, and it starts to turtle. Yeah,
or it doesn't, and that really scares them.
Yeah, that's the worst part.
That's the worst part. Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't.
If I like you, I like you. I don't give a fuck what's between your legs. Like you, if you're nice, you're nice.
Oh, I'm missing the chat, guys. I apologize to people in chat. So, Scott, will you help me? Help me. Anyway. Okay. So I don't have anything else. Fucking politics. We could talk about that. Maybe not.
No, well, it's basically, how was the trip, Dave? How was the trip?
How was the trip, Dave?
The trip was fine. My car wouldn't start this morning, and I cussed a lot. And
do you think that was a message from God or Jesus?
A couple weeks ago, the car wouldn't start, and she was at work, and she was on break, and she was listening to the radio, and and she figured, but I was like, it shouldn't kill the battery that quick. And then yesterday, cleaning out the car and everything, just like having the doors open or whatever, I guess that was just enough. And it's like, it just ain't no way. It shouldn't die that quick, So there must have been a bad cell in it or something.
Is that
But the car's resurrected now, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Oh great. Okay.
It wouldn't charge or anything, and I just said screw it. I just pulled it out. My son ran down to the corner where we got it, the other one, and came back with it. Boom, popped it in, put my meter on it. Okay, looks like the alternator's working, and so then we hit the road.
Yeah, I use the absorbent or the advanced, the absorbent glass mat. I use those. They're not the absorbent glass. They're not your traditional. They don't have they have liquid in them, but it's suspended in an absorbent material inside the battery, and they're maintenance free. They stand higher temperatures. So here in California, when you can get temperatures up to 120 degrees, 115, and it's baking ass hot. My wife has had 2 batteries in her vehicle swell and blow out. Just have the water boil right out of them. So
the old batteries, if you went over a bump, all of the sludge would slam down to the bottom of the battery and short it out and ruin the battery before they had solid state batteries. When they had the old acid batteries.
It's only like a year and a half old, and it already crapped out. So. But cussing aside, I just realized this thing ain't gonna start. We just got another battery.
Where was the trip that you went to? Did you go to
I'm in Kentucky for the ARC protest.
Oh, okay. I thought that might have been what it was. I was thinking that might have been what it was this weekend.
So the Rabbit Atheist is here. We were just talking about your video on Matt Powell, and there's a little segment in it, and I played it from a different channel, but I noted that you did it, and I'm going to post a link again for that you did the.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, anyway. Credit where credit due.
So you're in a hotel or a motel near, are you?
Yep, I'm at the Hilton, and
big ballin'.
It's another few minutes down the road to the Ark. Yeah.
You know, if they had done that like 1 week after the 4th of July, I might have been able to make it, but it's just the wrong weekend.
I almost didn't. I was and then not only would the car not start, but the wife's car was last in the driveway. All right, and so I couldn't even get a vehicle out of the driveway, and with her car. When you don't, it doesn't have a key or anything, so you can't take it out of gear. Have you ran into that?
Mm-hmm.
You have to pop up the little gear release button.
Oh yeah, there's like a little button next to the shifter. Press it down so you can put it in neutral. Yep.
So I had to. How the hell do you put it in neutral? So I had to figure that out, and then I just gave it a little push. I just rolled out front. No problem. But for a minute there, I was like, man, I'm already mad the car wouldn't start. And now I can't get the car out of gear. I've got 3 cars in the driveway and I can't drive anything to go. I was cussing. I was cussing.
I bet. Yeah, I mean, obviously, batteries go flat. The reason batteries go flat is because man obviously sinned and ate an apple.
Yeah. Well, and I was up early. I had everything ready to go. The car's all packed. Everything in there, and it's like, okay. Told my boy, make sure take care of the animals and everything. And he's like, yeah, have a good time. And click, 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 click. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. It's just
yeah. I remember my dad showing me on my Nissan because he's like, when's the last time you checked the levels on your battery? And I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, well, that's not a maintenance-free battery in that Nissan, because he had a Nissan truck as well. And
these are the hood. It's sealed. It's maintenance-free.
I remember one time
it doesn't have the cap. It doesn't have the cap.
No caps.
It doesn't have the. No. Really? Yeah, sounds like he got a bunk battery.
I remember one time I was having trouble with my car not starting, and I thought I was going to have to go get a new battery and make sure the alternator's okay. It turned out it was the battery in my remote control key fob thing, and I just replaced it, and I haven't had trouble since.
Yeah, I have one of those, and I actually had it happen because with those fobs, you're not supposed to be able to lock the keys inside the car because the way that the car reads it, it has a lockout or an anti-lockout program. I actually had it happen where the fob died just at the right time, and I ended up locking my keys in my car.
Oh no!
And I had to actually call a wrecker and have them come and break into my car to get the freaking key out.
Yeah.
I was like, what are the odds of that? And the guy goes, how long have you even had this car? And I'm like, I only had it a year, and the battery and the fob was already dead. Now I always keep a whole blister pack of the little fucking watch batteries that go in those things.
Yeah, I can't. I've got a Lexus, and one of the fobs, the battery's dead, and I cannot figure out how to open the damn thing. And I've taken so.
And look that up on YouTube. Type it in on YouTube or
okay.
ChatGPT.
I could use
probably somebody that describes it.
You mean do it on a computer? You mean that newfangled computer thing?
Normally it's not easy. With mine, you find the seam that's right in the middle of it, and then I have to take a butter knife. I use a butter knife, not a screwdriver, because you get a little bit more of an edge across it. Stick it down in the groove, and then just slowly work it until it pops. Then you pry it off, get to the battery, and then snap it back together.
Yeah. You push the button and you pull the key out, and then you put the key in and you just give it a little twist and it pops it open.
Yeah, that's
if you're struggling there, Mike, I know someone that's very good with computers.
Done
some videos recently, and I'll be able to help you.
What was his name again?
I think his name was
Matt Pad or something like that.
Matt Paul can help me out.
Yeah, Matthew
Wait,
Power,
did he say?
Something like that.
You guys were saying? Did I miss something where he was claiming to have studied computer science?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
Yep. That's what ChatGPT says, and that's what it says on the some creationist site. So, I don't know. I just don't believe it because he got into the scene when he was really young. He got into this. Yeah, I don't know. Not sure. Anyway, you guys want to hear it?
He looked at a couple of videos.
Well, does he think taking like a Microsoft Office course is a computer science course? Because it's not the same thing.
I don't know. I don't think he would pass a Microsoft Office course.
Because I would never claim I took computer networking, and I wouldn't claim to have never. I wouldn't say that. Oh yeah, I've studied computer science. No, I've studied computer networking, but not computer science. I mean, there's a lot of different computer sciences out there, quote unquote. So it's
if you take CSI 101, you can claim to have studied computer science at a university, right?
Yeah,
and CSI 101, it starts up.
Yeah, I've got my C++ for dummies, and I'm halfway through it, so I guess I'm a computer scientist.
Okay, yeah, C++. That's a tough one.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. I hate fucking programming.
I love it. I did it for like 40 years. Started with the very first microcomputers.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah. Ruby is a wonderful language, and Haskell, and
I'm messing around a bit with Arduinos, so that's also
really cool. Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, that's fun stuff.
Control. Yeah, I used to make microprocessors in my apartment. I'd go down to Radio Shack and buy
right next door to where you made your meth.
Yeah, right next door. Yeah, I got some stories about that too.
I know.
I got a story about a dead battery. Do you guys hate my back in the day stories because they're kind of long and drawn? But okay, so me and my wife missed Woodstock because we were drunk that weekend, so we didn't even know it was happening until we saw it on the news. So then, a year later, they were going to have this big rock concert in Wisconsin in some big fucking field out in the middle of nowhere. And me and my friends and Rodney was a piece of work, wanted to go, and Rodney's wife didn't want him to go, so she threw his car keys into the woods somewhere. So Rodney, being a really good car thief, hotwired his car, and I was ripped on acid, and we had 2 cases of Pfeiffer's 3-2 beer in the back, and we all got drunk and stoned, and we took off to Wisconsin from Minnesota. So we get about halfway there, and I'm passed out in the back seat, and I wake up, and it's the middle of the night, and I look at the road, and the headlights are only shining about maybe 1 foot, and Rodney's going 80 miles an hour. He doesn't have a license. He's got a hot-wired car, and we have no lights, right? So I said, Rodney, pull over. So he pulls over, and the fucking car dies. And he had it wired wrong. Like when you hotwire a car, an old car, you had to put 2 wires, one for the alternator and one to get it to start, right, and run. So anyway, somehow he got it started again, and we took off, and we ended up in Madison, Wisconsin. So here we are, drunk, beer in the car, stoned on acid, drugs in the car, no license, and a hot-wired car that isn't registered to Rodney's name, and he has no identification. And our car dies in a parking lot, a Kmart parking lot in Madison, Wisconsin, in the middle of the night. And we're from Minnesota, and the fucking cops in Wisconsin love to arrest people from Minnesota. So I got a brilliant idea. I said, Rodney, I'm going to fix this. I went out and I called the police to come and help us.
Just to get it over? To help.
No.
Oh, okay. I thought
I knew that they wouldn't show up if I called them and asked for help. I asked them to come out and give us a jump, and so we slept for like 2 hours until sunup, and the fucking police never showed up. They probably avoided. They said, "Don't go to that spot. These people want help."
You're from Minnesota. They're crazy. Whenever I hear one of your back in the day stories, Mike, I start thinking of the movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Oh, that movie reminded me. That was a nostalgia movie for me. I ain't shitting you.
I own it on 4K. I have a Criterion collection. It's a fucking great movie. There's nothing like a man in the depths of an ether binge.
That's it. The one where we're in bat country now. I mean, that was fucking real for me. And the other one is when he woke up in the room, with the alligator tail. I mean, I had been to parties like that.
Jesus Christ, there's tits on your back.
Oh, the Bat Country one. It's just like, I know exactly what he means.
You see what God did to us, man? God had nothing to do with it. You're a goddamn narcotics agent.
Oh, that was a great movie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A great book.
I can't watch. I can't watch it around my wife. She just looks at me and goes, "What are we watching?"
Oh, it's
she's
just
like,
so reminiscent.
She's like, "You own this?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then right after that, I don't know what it is, but right after I get done watching that, I'll turn on Old Country or No Country for Old Men. And she's like, "What the fuck? Are you in a mood?"
Yeah. Well, it's Mike, not Mark. It's Mike, not Mark. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty good. I really called the Taco Bell. I probably don't know who the fuck I called, but yeah, I
probably called the hotel dispatcher.
But that was kind of a
customer service line or something.
But that was a thing with our police anyway. If you called them and asked for help, they would never show up. They would just avoid you like the plague. So, because they didn't want to get involved or something.
They really took that to serve to heart, huh?
Exactly right. Yeah.
And that's why they went to the beach instead of help.
Yeah. Oh God, we would have spent so many days in jail in Wisconsin if they had come and checked us out. It was just amazing.
That's anyway. Pretty interesting that you can preemptively thwart getting pulled over by the cops in Wisconsin by for some reason, because I've been to Wisconsin and given the fucking this was early 2000s and I was there. My brother-in-law was living and working out there. He was only out there for like 6 months, but I went out there to help him move back from Wisconsin to Michigan. And just the overall feel of the place. It's like some of those places we went to, it's like those people didn't give a flying fuck about anybody else.
Nope. Yep.
Yeah. Especially like near Madison. Fucking A.
Yeah. Incredible place.
The hospitality was as warm as their winters.
Yeah.
So
the rock concert was canceled.
I did get to see the Bigfoot statue, though.
I know. You got a picture?
I
can put it up.
Yeah, I'm limited here.
Bigfoot statue. Where's the Bigfoot?
Yeah,
statue?
about halfway here. There's a wood carving Bigfoot. It's about 27 feet high or something. It's at this fairgrounds. So I figured, well, while we're on the way, we'll stop and see it. So we did.
Oh, what state is that in?
I'm in Ohio.
No. Wrong camera.
Oh, the one in Illinois?
No, it's what was the name of the town, babe?
Salina.
Oh.
Salina.
Oh, Salina.
Yeah.
Salina, Ohio.
That was about halfway along the way, and I figured, we can duck over there and see it, stretch our legs for a minute. And it was, I had to stop at the rest stop, 1 or 2 exits from the hotel because I just said, I got to pull in the rest stop. I just had to stretch my legs and my back. I was like, I'm not going to make it another exit, So, but
shit.
Yeah, so it was timed pretty good, stopping there and then, about one more exit and I'd have been all right. But I was just getting way too stiff and I was just squirming in my seat, and I'm like, I gotta pull over for a minute. I gotta walk. But overall, though, it was a straight shot. I mean, we just went down 75 to get here, and the Bigfoot statue was just getting off on 33, and it was a straight shot. Went and saw the Bigfoot, took it 33 right back to 75 and right back down south.
Shit, OBS is not finding my virtual camera or starting my camera, so I can't show the Bigfoot thing.
I can send it to. I gotta send it to Facebook.
Send it to someone else.
Hey, send a link.
What the hell is going on here?
You can also just present something.
Oh yeah, I could. What the hell? Okay, photo. I could try that.
That's actually that's what StreamYard is good for. Easily adding people and quite easily have everybody share photos and videos.
Right, but you got to go through all this bullshit in order to do it. And of course, it's not finding a photo. I mean, you got to click. It's not finding.
Or you can share a screen or a window.
It is not finding the photo from messages on the Mac. For some reason, it doesn't have.
Who the fuck uses a Mac?
I do. I do. I became a Mac. I was a Windows bigot, and I switched to being a Mac bigot in 11 months, and I'll never go back to Windows.
I'm pretty sure both of them have their advantages. I think the only thing I never switched is because
there you go.
There were no games. Well, the good games all came out for Windows, not Mac.
Oh, there it is. Woo-hoo. Okay, nice. Is it made out of wood? Is it made out of wood?
Yeah. I got some more here. Hold on. There's
that's not wrong with.
Yeah, that's just. There's
the other side.
Oh, nice.
That's
like
good.
That. Yeah, like
his name is
if
Nelson.
You're in the area. Yeah, that's you go and have a look at that. It's like that's cool. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's pretty big. You can see there's a tractor there in front of it, so you can kind of guess how big it is. But it's pretty neat. I mean, they got it all planted real nice, and the little fence around it and everything.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So,
do you know what?
It was free.
Better than that, though. There's something that has that beat. The Jeff Goldblum statue in London.
Let's see.
No, but like somebody like this took fucking effort to make. Like,
I know. What the hell? That's awesome. Look at that shit.
Are those cedar shingles? Because that's got to be expensive.
Something like that.
Yeah, I know. What the hell? Yeah, he's huge.
I did a live stream. I don't know if it's on my channel or not. I couldn't really see. The sun was blinding me in the phone, but I walked all the way around it and everything. Yeah.
I think that one was set to private because I did get a notification, but I could not. When I started it wouldn't work.
Man.
Okay. I'll fix it up. No big deal.
No Bigfoot. No big deal.
Yeah, I just wanted to do it, and I was having a hard enough time trying to see or anything, and forget trying to hit the settings or anything, So, but I'll fix it, and then everybody will be able to see it.
Is that a tree trunk between his legs, or is he just happy to see you?
He's sitting cross-legged, and he's got his arm back. He's all kicked back.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Chilling.
It was something to see on the way.
I can imagine. Like if you're in the area, that's something you go see, especially if you're Dave. Like you got to go look at anything Bigfoot related, right?
It was only about 20 minutes off the highway, so it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I'd really like to see Dave, just as a thing, when you get back and you got time. I'd like you to do one of those AI ones where you turn into Bigfoot with the voice and everything. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. Just to do an intro for your channel or something,
Oh yeah, like
I have seen the promo where it's like, look, it's this easy. You just do this, and it's like I just haven't had the opportunity to play around with it.
Yeah, I think that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I think that would work with your face. Yeah,
with your voice, you have an intro come up, we hold a sign, and then you go, yeah, that's right, join. Otherwise,
yeah, you got to get savvy with the AI videos like Praise I Am is. Jesus.
Oh, is he doing it? No, really?
Oh, yeah, he does a bunch of that shit where he has he rebukes, quote unquote, Justin from Deconstruction Zone by using AI to augment Dan McClellan or Dr. Josh.
Oh no,
nice. I like it.
They're so bad.
Oh,
and the thing is Dan McClellan actually commented on the one that Praise did of using his likeness, and so the video from Dan McClellan's like, I disagree with myself.
Yeah, that's going to be the thing now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody actually did that with a Jordan Peterson video, except instead of using AI, they just like spliced together two different like interviews that Jordan Peterson did, and they literally it's just him interviewing him, disagreeing with what he says.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, that's always fun. Yeah, I've seen
was
those.
Really good. It was.
It's
really
like he says one thing and then turned around later in some other conversation says something else.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't think that was your position. Oh wait, you don't really. Your positions are like, what do you mean by believe?
Yeah. It's a very good little video. Very well done. Whoever did it, congrats.
Yeah, I was watching those rationality rules videos where he was going over the Jordan Peterson Jubilee thing. Those are. He does. Steven does some really good breakdowns of the shit that goes on in that.
He does. He's really good. He's really good.
And then the one that he just recently did with Ben Shapiro in his interview with that one fucking.
I haven't seen that one yet, but
oh Jesus Christ!
It's priceless.
You can't take fucking Ben Shapiro. He just shows his. He's just 100% Mean Girls it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you should see the Skydiver Phil one on Ben Shapiro. It's like 3 hours long. I mean, there's 2 videos of it, each lasting 2 hours, and they literally rip everything that Ben Shapiro says apart in great detail. It is pretty funny, I have to say.
It amazes me that the guy, what was he, like 21 or 22 when he graduated Harvard Law with honors, and then it's just like you just like the shit that comes out of his mouth. I'm like, how much Kool-Aid? How much and then he I don't know. Like, I'm like, I've never seen someone so smart be that stupid. It's just.
Well, yeah, like to be fair, I've got to be fair here. I think I'm going to try and be fair anyway. Like I think with Ben, he has like such severe ADHD that he can't study for very long. You know what I mean? And so when he tries to be an expert in somebody else's field, right, he only half learns it because he does it so quickly. He does everything really quickly. That's how I feel. And he like tries to study some of these arguments, and he just does them really quickly, so he forgets some of the points that have been said. And so he makes all of these fallacious arguments back, So.
Yeah, there's actually speaking of videos, my wife's been off for the summer, so I haven't really done a whole lot of. The last video I did was like 2 weeks ago, but there's one from Charlie Kirk that I want to go over where he was at I don't know what college or university he was at, but he ends up getting into a conversation with someone about slavery in the Bible. Oh my God, every fucking useless apologetic comes out of that idiot's mouth.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Well, it's the same thing with the Ben Shapiro, right? He did an interview with Ed Feser, or Feser, whatever his name is, Ed Feser. And so later on, about 3 weeks later, Ben Shapiro did a video where he was using one of the arguments, the argument from causation, whatever, contingency argument, whatever it is, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And he just totally mucks it up. He just completely mucks it up. I mean, he literally takes like the junior version of the argument, shall we say? And he's had an interview with the guy that puts the argument forward, and because he's trying to cut it down, right? He just misses out a whole load of stuff or just passes over it as if it's. Anyway, it's funny. Go and check out Skydiver Phil.
Yeah, that's.
So go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
I found this little thing on Jordan Peterson talking about Bigfoot, the existence of Bigfoot.
Ooh.
Yeah. Look, the question of Bigfoot, it's not trivial, okay? You might think it's trivial, but that's because you're blinded by your postmodern cynicism. You scoff and you say, oh, Bigfoot isn't real. That says more about you than it does about Bigfoot. On and on. And, Bigfoot is not just a creature. Bigfoot is a symbol. He's the archetype of the unknown, lurking at the edge of the forest. It goes on. Mm-hmm. This is fucking great. I love doing ChatGPT Jordan Peterson parodies.
I don't know if you knew this.
He doesn't pay taxes. Yeah, what a piece of shit.
I don't know if you knew this, but the intro I did for the last Onion that we were on, Mike, that is exactly what I did. I said, give me an intro for this by Jordan Peterson.
Okay, yeah, cool.
And I was going to do it in a Kermit voice, but my Kermit impression is pretty bad.
What do you mean by the state of an onion? Are you talking about the layers of states?
Layers of
the onion is an archetype. And
I used
to do quite a good Angelo, but I can't do it anymore for some reason.
So he ends with because quite frankly, if you can't find your socks in your own closet, what makes you think you're going to find a transdimensional ape in the Pacific Northwest?
That's very good.
That's pretty good.
Great. Yeah, I love it.
Transcendental apes, sweet. Yeah. And there was also speaking of transcendentals, there was a I was listening to this while I was walking the dog one day, and it was one of Justin from Deconstruction Zone. He does videos where he'll take out like a conversation that he's had with someone, and it was from this YouTuber who goes by the term like the Sage or something like that. And Sage, I mean, it's like an hour and 40 minutes, maybe an hour and 20, somewhere in there. It's over an hour long. And Sage is just trying to do the whole tag/precept thing on Justin. And I'm just listening. So I had to disagree with some of like Justin's approach to having the conversation, but still the guy, it amazes me how they approach the precept argument when they try to fucking tell you, well, you can't have a justification now. When they go, if you don't presuppose God, I'm like, you dumb fucks. You still haven't figured this out. I don't think Van Til figured it out either, was the fact that they're trying to state that ontologically everybody has this basically pre-built presupposition of God existing, and that's the only way that's the reason why we, as an ontological part of us, like a trait, is that we can reason and have rationality. And then all of a sudden they try to appeal to this idea that your subjective state, your subjective epistemic states, or whatever that might be, to get into Jordan Peterson, will somehow change your ontology to where you can no longer justify anything and you can no longer make truth statements about states of affairs. It's fucking stupid. I'm just sitting there, I'm like, you idiot. You could have fucking
amazing.
You could have just GPT'd this for like an hour before having the conversation with Justin and saved yourself an assload of time. But like the guy goes, well, you can't even do any epistemic justifications. I'm like, you fucking moron. You automatically have to use the epistemic justifications. It's the reason that Justin has epistemic justifications is the evidence for the God. It's the whole point of being is God.
It doesn't make any difference anyway. Even if you can't ground anything, it doesn't mean you can't say something intelligible. Those two things. That it's a complete non sequitur, right?
Right. Yeah. What do you? Why do you need to ground it?
Cares? Yeah. This is why. This is why the presup argument is the bottom of the barrel, like arguments taught at seminaries. Right? They just don't bother with it.
Yeah.
That's like it's like telling somebody that you can't walk across a room unless you can justify particle physics or you know all about particle physics. Right?
Well, exactly, Mike. Yeah, like one of these days, I want to do a video.
You know what quantum theory is, yeah.
Yeah, one of these days I want to do a video where my dog is asking to go out, and I want to sit there and do like my bad Jordan Peterson impersonation and ask my dog.
I'll do a precept on him.
Can you give an epistemic justification for your reasons for believing why you need to go out and take a piss right now?
And then you end up cleaning up a big puddle in the end.
Yeah, my dog will just be sitting there with her ears back, looking at me like, "Are you stuck Irish stupid? Let me out fucking inside."
Yeah.
No, I'll show you an epistemic justification. It'll be hot, brown, and plenty of it.
I tell you what would be funny, Jay, if you did it instead of going outside with a lead, with walking, because then the dog would have a reaction, right? Could you tell me how you can epistemically justify needing a walk?
Yeah, exactly.
At the same time, you're shaking the lead, and the dog's going.
Can you epistemically justify why it is that you think I said walk?
Oh and my God! Such a shit argument. It's untrue, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually had a conversation with someone where they did that, and they said, "Well, how do you know anything?" And they're like, "You believe that I know something." I said, "You presuppose that I know something," and they went,
"Right.
What's that?" And I said, You presuppose that I understand English.
Yeah.
There you
go. I think Bonson and either Bonson or Van Til admit in their some of their books that the whole goal is not to present an argument; it's to shut the atheist up.
Yeah, that was more.
That's Bonson. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Bonson's push. There was another one. Frayne. There's another.
Although, let me just add this in quickly about Van Til. Like a lot of people, a lot of philosophers think that he's just a really shit philosopher.
Well,
I mean that's just the fact of it, right? You know.
Yeah, so. I'm waiting for my brother was going to send me. He's got a copy of one of Van Til's books. It's the one that deals predominantly with the presuppositional and presuppositional philosophy and all that. But he told me, he goes, oh, it's absolute shit. He goes, you'll be reading through, or he'll be starting on something, and then you get about halfway through it, and then he contradicts what he started with.
Yeah.
And then you get even further through it, and then he contradicts where he was at like halfway through, and you're like, what in the hell, dude?
Yeah, well, the way he does it is just by making it so dense and unreadable that you just can't get through it. You wouldn't want to read it.
Yeah, he said. Yeah,
I'm assured by people who have read it and are in the know about such things that it is a really dreadful book.
Yeah, maybe I can find. I think I still have access to One Way Apologetics Google Drive. And I think he has PDF copies of Van Til's work.
I think I have a few PDF copies of. I know I had Bonson. I might have Van Til too.
Apparently, it's really badly written.
Yeah. My brother told me it was a slog to read through. He's just like, oh, it's really hard. I think he said he didn't even finish it. He got got quite a way through it, but he said it's a chore.
I think my Bonson PDF has about 500 highlights in it because I was going through it trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. It's like, come on, impress me here, and they didn't. They did not impress me.
Okay, you should be able to see my live video from earlier. I changed it to public, brainless.
You did what? What? Oh,
I think
your live video.
Yeah, I think brainless said they couldn't see my video earlier because it was set on private. So.
Oh, you had an earlier one today?
Well, when I was at the Bigfoot statue, I went live and I said, I'm at the Bigfoot statue.
Okay.
Yeah, but I couldn't mess with the settings or anything because I wasn't even sure I was live streaming other than I saw a chat came up because you know how it is with your phone in the sun, you know. And I had the brightness cranked all the way up and I could just barely see somebody was chatting. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm live. So.
Yeah, it's always bad with some of those screens too, because if you have polarized sunglasses, you can't fucking see your screen. Yeah, it's like,
Speaking of, I had to. Well, I was wearing my glasses because I was driving, and I've got the polarized lenses and everything. Yeah, so on top of it, I'm lifting up my glasses trying to see.
So let's play this thing. Is there no sound?
There will be.
Yeah, I can hear sound.
All right, we're live. I guess we're live. It says I'm live. I'm here at the Bigfoot. Nelson.
Oh my God.
Here we are.
His name is Nelson.
We made it.
Yeah.
Do you go sit on his lap?
No. I walk all the way around.
Check out the Nelson.
Somebody has quite a commitment.
Couldn't see how to turn my video on.
Somebody had quite a commitment to
too sunny out
lay out that sidewalk and make that big Bigfoot.
Nelson.
I mean, that's impressive.
It was a long
what is that big stick in the middle of his? There is a big
Bigfoot.
Did they specifically haul in the rock? That's a big fucking.
Yeah, that's a big piece of sandstone.
Yeah. How's everybody doing out there?
I wonder if there used to be like a statue of the general or something.
Okay, wait a minute, guys. That's his thumb, not his dick. Okay, I thought that was.
Yeah, I thought it was a carrot. That's a jovial looking Bigfoot. You know, he's got just like this.
He's happy.
He looks like he's fucking just ate a bag of fucking edibles.
Well, he's at the fairgrounds, you know.
Well, that's what he grazes on. Is edible.
Nelson must be a farmer.
Probably eats ditchweed all day.
Like the videos say, he smoked a blunt and had a zin.
Oh my God. They have fingernails. They really did a good job.
It's very well done, though. I'm quite
impressed.
impressed.
We get to look at his butt. We get to see his butt. Okay.
So did they pour concrete and lay out that gravel and everything just for that?
I think there's somebody in the chat. I can't really see. It's so sunny out here, but hello, whoever's out there.
Oh my God. Big butt. There's big butt.
It was
barely see
fair,
what's on the
guess,
phone. It's so sunny out
here. And it just became
it's nice, but
a mainstay or whatever. It's a nice place there. They've got campground there. There's swimming area. It didn't look like it was open today. It might have been the holiday, but
yeah, but it's in Ohio.
Oh. Yeah, that's a problem.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I spent some time in Ohio.
I spent some time in Ohio too.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, there's a swim. Yeah, big old swimming pool back there.
What was that? I was there in Ohio. I think there's the Johnny Appleseed trails over there. I did that for Boy Scouts. That sucked.
Oh man.
Came home with double-barreled fucking.
I think the face is too small.
Sunburn?
No, almost like trench foot. It was bad.
Oh, okay.
We were camping in the fucking mud. Fucking dumbass scout troop. My mom knew how to camp better than those fucking idiots.
Yeah, when my boys were in it, they talked us into winter camping, and me and my sons just froze our asses off in the tent. That night. It was just like, holy shit.
Yeah, see, I'm trying to hit the end button, and I can't see exactly where.
Oh,
it's
okay.
At. So yeah, I just wandered back to the car with the.
Gotta try to save face by making it look good. Just act like you know what you're doing. The finger placement wasn't you searching for something you can't find.
Well, I told everybody I was going to stop, so I went live real quick, and I sent Mike and Bree and my kids and everybody. I sent a picture of it real quick.
Yeah.
And we were back on the highway. So.
Yep.
Back on the road. God, I hate road trips. Ugh.
Yeah. God, I hate driving.
Well, most of the way here, you can go 70, so it's a lot better than it used to be going.
Yeah, I'm never going 70 again. The last time I went up north, I was going 70 and hit a deer, and it scared the shit out of me. It was
these idiots. Another reason I don't like driving on the highway. All these idiots, passing on the left.
I know.
These idiots on these motorcycles just whipping around lane to lane to lane to lane, and it's like, you're just waiting for them to go end over end,
Yeah.
See, I don't mind when I did the road trip. My wife and I went out to Michigan a couple of years ago from California, and I was driving this little Nissan Rogue that we rented. I really wish I had known about the lane assist, because that would have come in like so handy, especially going through like spots in Wyoming and northern Nevada are so straight that you can just basically just set the speedometer at 85. I've had cops pass me on some of those roads doing 90. And they'll wave, and you'll be doing 80, 85.
The fuzz was everywhere today.
Well, 4th of July weekend and all. Yeah.
They had people pulled over everywhere, and we had the phone app that kept going off, fuzz ahead, and I was just riding with traffic, so whenever traffic slowed down, I slowed down. When it speeded up, I speeded up.
Yeah, what was it? There was this campground. There's this campground in Michigan it's situated. It's basically where 3 rivers in Michigan, kind of 2 or 3 rivers come together, and there's 1 or 2 hydroelectric dams there. So it's a real popular boating area, and it never failed. 4th of July, Labor Day, and Memorial Day weekends there were just absolutely hellacious. There was always some kind of catastrophe either happening on the water or near the water, like boats catching on fire, people falling off and getting struck by fucking ski-doos and all sorts of shit. Just absolutely insane. And every year, my mother, I'm like, you guys gonna come out and hang out with us at the campground for Memorial Day? I was like, God, no. We're gonna go out on the boat. I'm like, I'm as pale as the fucking driven snow. Let me slather on my SPF 100. 90 fucking degrees sitting out in the middle of a lake. Oh, but the breeze is so nice. Take your shirt off. No, that's more sunblock I have to add. Fuck off.
So 2 days after I hit my deer, my brother sent me this picture. So let's see. This is what he hit.
A moose?
Yep. 60 miles an hour. Yeah.
Oh, luckily it was a small one. Is that a baby? Looks like a
no, no, they said it was 1,200 pounds, female. Yeah. Yeah, it's a big one. It's good size. So anyway.
He's lucky
he had the one up. He had the fucking one up me. You know how brothers are, right?
Yeah. Well, you gotta give props to those crumple zones. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I remember the first time I hit a deer. All I did was hit its nose with my side view mirror. That was hilarious.
Oh.
Yeah, that thing was not happy. And then the second time I hit a deer, that actually caused damage to my truck was in North Carolina, and it was this doe jumps out in front. I had to be early into work, and so it's still dark out, and I'm driving down we lived out in the country, and here's this doe that comes out, and I slow down, and I'm like, okay, cool, and I start speeding up, and then here comes this 12-point buck, boing, pops out. I'm like, shit, and I didn't hit him head on. Instead, he made it past my vehicle, and he turned around. I don't know what it is with them whipping back, but they do. He flipped back and to the left, and so his antlers just scraped up the driver's side of my truck all the way down. Just, and he could not have been feeling very good. But man,
do you know why they do that? Do you know why they do that? Switch back. It's evasive to fool the predator, right?
Yeah, it was absolutely stupid, because that's what happened with the little one in upstate New York. It wasn't very old. I think it might have been a young doe, and it was dark out, had my lights on, and I slowed down for it, and it starts to cross. And I'm like, okay, and it gets into the other lane, and it's starting to go, and I'm like, okay, good. And so I speed up, and as I'm just getting ready to pass it, it real quickly turns back around. And just as it turned back around, my side view mirror on my Ford Ranger smacked it right in the nose. And I could actually, and here it is wintertime. I actually had my windows up. I heard it actually, slapped my mirror, my side view mirror back, but it popped it right in the fucking face, right in the nose. And I was like, did I hit it? And I'm looking in the back, and I can see with my brake lights on, and I'm looking in the rear view mirror, and that thing is having a conniption fit in the middle of the fucking road.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I just smacked you in the fucking face with my side view mirror doing about 35 miles an hour. That could not have felt good.
Squirrels do that too. They'll switch back on you. So they get killed basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, the deer that I hit, there was a car passing me, and the deer was coming out on his side, so I couldn't see because he was right alongside of me. Then all of a sudden, he steps on the brakes, and the fucking deer comes flying out, and it made this horrible organic clacking sound that I will never get out of my mind. It was just a horrible, oh God, ruined my whole trip.
Oh yeah,
we've got them in the city where I'm at. They're all over.
Oh yeah, here in Minneapolis we have them too, all over the goddamn street.
Yeah, certain farm fields and metro parks and stuff. When you're around them, you got to watch it, because they'll jump out. Right here.
Statistically considered the white-tailed deer, I think, is still statistically considered the most dangerous animal in North America because of vehicular accidents and
they kill people. Yeah.
And hunting. Yeah, okay. They've known to kill hunters, trample them and shit. So.
Oh, they'll put their hoof through your head, through your temple. If you walk up to them, like if you shoot one and they're still alive, they can kick you, and their hooves are really sharp. And people have actually gotten them fucking stuck in their heads. You got to be careful approaching them. And they charge you. Deer bucks will charge you. So
tons of mice nose, Secor deer. Yep.
Yeah.
Tons of mice used to live here, so he knows he knows the area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm originally from Michigan, so yeah, like a lot of places back east, fuck tons of deer.
Yeah, there is. And we have a township inside the city that was overrun with them, and they wanted to thin them out, but the people in the township voted no. They want to keep them. So yeah, they're just overflowing in that area there, and it feeds right into the metro park and everything. So that whole area over there, lot of deer.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, we had literal herds of deer in the middle of town. They go into these swamps, and there were like probably 100 of them all together.
Swamp deer. Oh, we got some.
I thought I had a giant dog in my yard the one night, because the night vision, it shows up, kind of white looking, and I'm like, whose huge dog is in my yard, And then when I got another look at it, no, it was a deer. It was out there eating my wife's flowers.
Yeah.
And I'm in the city with, major road, that I get out on and everything. So
I still remember in upstate New York, my friend and I were driving from Fort Drum up to his hometown in Ogdensburg, New York. And I can't remember I think it's Highway 81 or 88, whatever that main highway is, going up. And they had just had a really bad snowstorm the night before. We left early in the morning, and we're driving, and on the opposite side of the median, going southbound, we see this huge semi truck, right? And it's got the head of a buck in its grill. Blood everywhere. I said, Christ. "Oh yeah." I look at my friend Kroger. I went, "That guy had a fun night."
We had a customer when I worked at the garage ran over a deer, and I mean ran over it, and brought it up, and there was, could you do something, and the boss was like, "Yeah, we'll do something for you, help you out, And the entire undercarriage of the car was just chunks of meat and fur everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the hose out, and these pieces are just falling out from the bottom of their car.
My dad told me, he goes, "Yeah, it's the first thing you have to break yourself up when you're," because my dad was a CDL. He has his commercial driver's license, and he took training, semi training, and he goes, the first thing they have to break into or drill into you. You have a deer come across the road. Do not swerve. Do not brake. You just go through it.
Go through it. Shouldn't do that with a car, though, because sometimes they come right through the windshield and kill you. Yeah.
I saw a handful of road kills on the way here.
There were 2 different moose incidents last year in Minnesota, northern Minnesota, both fatalities. People got killed hitting moose. One of them, I think, had like a little Volkswagen, and like whack.
What was it? It used to be a test. It used to be the test for Volvos. The way that they did impact tests on Volvos is they had to be able to take the roof had to meet a collision standard for a moose hitting it.
Oh no!
Moose landing on top of it. Yeah.
Well,
that's why for a long time Volvos are considered some of the safest cars, because they could just, structurally that's what they were designed for, was to be able to take, moose.
Yeah. I heard that Rolls-Royce, they use the same vehicle to do crash tests, front, rear, and both sides. Because they were that strong, they're built that heavily, and I think they would drop them from like a 10-story building or something like that. It's like, and the fucking thing, they'd be able to use it again for another crash test because it held up.
Well, thanks for having me on, guys. I got to take off here. So
yeah, we all got to take off. I think I'm about done. I don't think we have anything else.
Yep. So, I will see you all later. Bye.
All right, Jay. Yeah. Have a good one.
I'm only good for 2 hours, Dave. You got to be in charge. So anyway, you're gonna do videos for us tomorrow? You gonna do some live stuff?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to. It might be kind of dorky again. Am I hitting the right button? because it's hard to see in the sun. But
you better get out there in the get out there in the lobby and see who else is out in the hotel and go meet some people tonight.
I think I saw Dade when we first came in. He was getting in his car and leaving, and I just talked to Joe. They're gathering over at Jim and Chrissy's, and but we got to find ourselves something to eat here first. So
yep. Okay.
Okay, so watch for me tomorrow, and like I say, a lot of other people. Chris is going to try to live stream and everything. So
okay, cool. Okay, so we're going to end, guys. That okay with everybody?
Yep.
Anybody got anything? Okay.
No, I mean, interesting chat. We've got Matt Powell in here, so at least that was some kind of creationist. I don't think he was. I don't think he was like A tier creationist. You know what I mean? He wasn't top tier, but
not exactly. No.
But just to call back, you do have top tier coming on Monday. Is that right?
Like, top tier.
What time's that on Monday?
So, 8 p.m. Central Time. In the One True Zone. Yeah, Central. Okay. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. And that's with the two top tier, educationally speaking, creationists, yeah? Who are they again?
Yeah, Sal Cordova and Rebecca from Bread of Life. And then, we have a top tier scientist, Dr. Dan Stern Cardinell from Creation Myths.
He doesn't stand a chance. Oh, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. No, they're just going to waste him, man.
Oh, my goodness. They're probably going to, I don't know. They're probably going to.
Well, they're really good at the science stuff. Yeah. If I keep saying it, he's probably going to take them down. But there's an old video of me teaching Sal Cordova how carbon chemistry works, how carbon bonds with oxygen and hydrogen. So I actually taught him organic chemistry, and now he's claiming to be a molecular biophysicist, right? Like 3 years later, he's a molecular biophysicist. And I had to teach him how to carbon form 4 bonds with things, right?
Yeah. That's the caliber of the guy. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
The caliber of the guy. And I hope Dr. Dan, is it Dr. Dino? How does he go by? No, Dr. Dan.
Dr. Dan, Dr. Dan Stern Cardinell.
I was confusing him there with Dr. Dino. I don't know how that happened.
No.
I'm terribly sorry.
Dr. Dan is an actual PhD evolutionary biologist who teaches at Rutgers out in New Jersey.
Well, I hope
there's a Dr. Dino who's an actual paleontologist, young fella. He teams up with Grayson a lot. He's supposed to DOK. TER. So let's not confuse Dr. Dinos, because there's a real Dr. Dino, and then there's the fake Dr. Dino, which is Kent Hovind.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
So that's an unfortunate.
It's all part of the setup.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate name for the man to pick.
Absolutely. So anyway, so I hope that Dr. Dan does study up on his Gold's incompleteness theory. Otherwise,
good L.
I'm not holding up too much hope for him, but we'll see. We'll see.
Doc Dino did it on purpose. He misspells it, but he's mocking Hovind with it. So
Okay, cool.
But he's doing a thing. He went out with Grayson before looking for dinosaur fossils, and he's doing another thing. He's going to go out again, go out on another dig or something. So.
He's done several videos, educational videos from out in the field. Like he would actually go and show where there was a fossil deposit somewhere and talk about it. It was really cool.
I heard the other Dr. Dino found a fossil of SpongeBob SquarePants, right?
Probably from Ron Wyatt.
I'm going to post
amazing find.
I'm putting the link for the thing on Monday in chat. So that's it.
Fantastic. And of course, I'm doing an F1 show on Monday. It's 9 p.m. UK time, which is 4 p.m. in the afternoon. British Grand Prix review. And of course, Thursday, 10 o'clock p.m. UK time, which is 5 o'clock EST. Of course, State of the Onion, the last in the series 3, although we will be having another series, and that's given you enough time. And there it is. There is the genius himself.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if you know this, but he actually he taught Daniel Bowenberg how to play piano. You probably don't know that.
He what? You kind of got weak there for a minute.
Broke up a little bit.
How to play piano, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's on his bio.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's on his bio.
Yeah. He gets online. Like he's got a new young girl he's teaching evolution to. I forget what her name is, Katie something or something like that.
New girlfriend.
He does that a lot, and it's really cool to hear him mansplaining science to him.
Lovely.
It really is. It really is kind of. It always kind of creeps me out a little bit.
Yeah, I would think so.
Oh, maybe
it's a little creepy.
Maybe we'll come back
to a young girl.
We'll come back with a bang next week. Like I said, I got like 10 of Wayne's videos downloaded. So
cool. Okay.
Maybe we'll come back to our old favorite next week.
Huh?
Yeah, I could have done more, but today I was trying to find some creation video, and I am so goddamn sick of them that I couldn't get behind anything other than these couple of stupid things that Matt Paul said. I mean, I think I'm burning out a little bit. I need to take a break.
That's why we need Wayne. Wayne, he's got.
Wayne is a good comic relief, right?
Yeah, on Magic is Real, so I think we should take a look at some of those. He's got a whole series of them.
It is real. Okay, guys, let's get out of here. So good night, everybody. Thanks everybody for showing up. I'm sorry, Chad. I paid attention to you as much as I could. I'm very distractible. So anyway, good night. Goodbye, cruel world.
Good day.
We're out of here. How do we get out of here?